On Wednesday, this 28th day of January in 2026, I'm Aaron Wills with another random rambling video. It is 6 o'clock a.m. Along with welcoming you to my channel, allow me to thank you for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe before sharing this video and turning on the post notification bell. Now this is where I start the video, so tune in. Pay attention, lean in close to the screen. Don't want to miss anything. Unless I'm still clipping. I turned my gain way down so that I wouldn't be clipping. But I don't know, last time it didn't show I was clipping in the audio mixer in OBS. But I was clipping all over the place when I played the video back. I hope I'm not clipping right now. Again, I turned the gain way down. I've been fucking with my gain for weeks now. The problem is now, although I kind of had it honed in, I think, the problem is now I added a limiter and some compression to my microphone in OBS, and now it doesn't sound right. It was clipping yesterday when I made my last video. I ripped a goodie there. Oh yeah, that was a goodie. I ripped a goodie. That's what it said. It said, why did I add a limiter and some compression? Well, I'll tell you why. A limiter is supposed to keep me from clipping. It's supposed to, when I clip, it's supposed to keep me from clipping, which didn't work last time, and it's probably not working this time. And the compressor is supposed to add a little bit of a combustion or whatever to the microphone, however you want to say it. Compression, I guess. It compresses the loud part down into the quiet part, and it brings up the quiet part into the louder part. So the compression is supposed to keep the video at one even sound. And with the limiter, that one even sound is supposed to not be clipping. So it shouldn't be too loud and it shouldn't be too quiet with the compressor. I think that's the compressor that does that. And don't quote me, you're probably laughing at me. If you know about this shit, you're probably laughing at my fat ass. Don't laugh at me. Don't call me names. That's my cousin Mark. Don't get your pleasure from my pain. As you see, the singing doesn't run through the Wills side of the family. Well, actually, it does, because my grandmother, on my mom's side, I never met anybody on my father's side. Not even my father on my father's side. Never met my father on my father's side. Never met any of his family on my father's side. But my grandma, again, it's on my mother's side. My grandma could sing like a canary. She could sing like a bird. I think they say, I don't know. And my mom could also sing very well. My sister was teacher's pet in show choir, in music class, everywhere, because she could sang so well. And she loved music so much. My sister could sing, my mom could sing, my grandma could sing. Aaron can't sing. Aaron can't carry a tune in a bucket with a lid on it. That's what my mom used to say. She'd say, Aaron, son, I love you, but you couldn't carry a tune in a bucket with a lid on it. Gee, thanks, Mom. Don't get hit again. No, I'm kidding. I don't like joking like that. I can joke with her like that, but I don't like saying that. I don't want anyone to think for a second that I would ever do that to my mother. I loved my mother. I never even cussed it. And in my 19 years of living while she lived, my 19 years of living with her, I never cussed in front of her. Well, when I was a kid, apparently, when I was like 3, I used to say fire fuck. Mom, whenever a fire engine would go by, I'd say fire fuck. Look, Mom, fire fuck. So that doesn't count as the F word. I'd never cuss in front of her. My sister did all the time. My sister was like, this shit sucks, or what the fuck? My sister would cuss in front of my mom all the time. which I guess to her it wasn't a big deal. To me, I would never disrespect my mother by swearing around her. I sure hope this isn't clipping because I plan on talking for a little while. Also, out of respect for my mother, I have never, at 51 years of age, which is what I am now until May, at 51 years of age, I've still never been drunk. One time in my life, I've never been drunk. And at the age where all my friends started drinking and going out to parties and coming home drunk, I couldn't even imagine disrespecting my mother by coming home in her house when I was 14 and 15 and being drunk off my ass, like my buddies did. I don't know something's going on. I'm trying to pay attention to it while I'm making a video. I'm nosy, as they say. I just call it curious. Hey, George, curious to a monkey. For those of you who have been watching uh, recently, or you've been watching for the last few weeks, couple weeks, I guess it's been, you might remember what I'm referring to when I say that. That refers to the fact that um, a boy, my girlfriend at the time, son, her first and only son, I think. I haven't talked to her in 30 years, so she may have 20 kids by now. She's fucked enough. She fucks enough to have 20 kids. I know that. Meaning she fucks more than 20 times. That's what it would take. That's all it takes to make 20 kids is fucking 20 times. Anyway, this boy, when he was about 5, we had him set up with cable in his room on his own TV, which isn't a real big deal. Even I had that growing up. We had no money, and I grew up in the 70s and 80s. And so it wasn't we I had a little 19-inch television with no cable, of course, attached to it. No cable or satellite. I suppose there was satellite. There was a time in the 80s when cable was around. We didn't have cable in the house. I certainly didn't have cable in my room. But Raymond, that's the boy, had his own TV, a good sized TV, and his own cable. We let him watch whatever. I think we made it to where he couldn't accidentally turn on any adult stuff. So we had we had parental guidance turned on, and so he could watch what he wanted. He'd go in there with his remote and just scan through channels until he saw a cartoon. Usually, one day I said, I went in his room. Let's try Knox first. And he may have said, "Who is it?" And I may have said, "It's Daddy." He called me Daddy, by the by, even though I wasn't his father, I wasn't his daddy. So I knocked on the door, and I remember going in this room. I don't know if I knocked. I don't know if there was any exchange before I walked in. He's 5 years old. Now he doesn't deserve. He doesn't have any. Uh, he doesn't have any. What's the word? He doesn't have any suspected right of, privacy at the in public. So at the age of 5, I'm sure I may have just walked in on him. I popped my head in and I said, "What you doing, bud?" He said, "Watching TV." I said, "What you watching?" He said, "Oh, George, a curious little monkey." I was watching Curious George. And he said, "Oh, George, a curious little monkey." I thought that was so cute. I still think about it, obviously, as you can tell. So I laughed my butt off and went and shared it with his mommy. And his mommy thought it was cute too, and she hated that she missed it. I said, "Well, too bad, bitch. You weren't in there, were you? You were off fucking somebody, weren't you?" No, I didn't say that, but she probably was off fucking somebody. She used to leave at 8 o'clock in the morning and not return until past 10 o'clock at night when I would leave for work. And she'd leave at 8 o'clock in the morning saying, "I'm heading over to my mom's. I'll probably be over there for a couple hours. I'll be back." And then, 2 hours later, she, she wasn't back. And, 4 hours later, she wasn't back. And then after X amount of time, I would call her mom and say, "Have you seen Lori?" She's like, "No, she hasn't come here today." And I'm like, "Well, she told me she was headed over there at like 8 a.m. and now it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I still haven't seen her. And like, she's not answering her cell phone." That's when they had. Not everybody had a cell phone, but some people did. She had a cell phone paid for by her mother, just in case there was an emergency. She could call the police or call her mom or whatever. But on this particular day and similar days when she would disappear, I would call her cell phone, and of course she would turn it off. She didn't want me to know what she was doing or where she was. So I called her mother, Anita. I asked if she had seen Lori that day, this particular day, which is similar to several other days. She said she hadn't seen her, and she's like, "Well, I'm worried about her. Maybe I'll call her cell phone." Yeah, you try it, because she's not answering for me. And so her mom called back a little later and said, "Nope, still haven't heard from her." She's like, and you still haven't heard from her?" I said, "No." And I said, "She still hasn't been over there?" And her mom said, "No, she hasn't." Water. Cheers. I'm going to play this back. I'm going to stop this and play it back now and see how does it sound. I hope I'm not clipping still. If I am, I have to go into OBS and turn my gain down that way. I can't control it all on the audio interface. I thought I could. I thought I could just turn down the gain on the audio interface, but I was proven wrong about that yesterday or last night when I made a video with the gain down, and it was just clipping and peaking everywhere. So I'm gonna play this back. I'm gonna stop it and play it back now. And we're gonna see how it sounds. And if it doesn't sound well, I'll have to figure out how to go into OBS and change the gain level there. Anyway, I'm gonna tell you two fingers, A-Dub Club. See you when I see you. Oh, and by the by, pizza rolls. Peace, peace, peace. See ya, see ya, see ya, see ya. Peace.